changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I get the bay, you know I think.
Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. And when all three of us come together, man, it's Cowboys Uncut.
Scottis.
West Coast Cowboy in the middle, the Kanye West of this content stuff.
And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo, we stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running. So one team over here is Cowboys, leaders. Yeah, this you got is a poet. Big up West Coast Cowboy, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out, man. Don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC, yeah, DC4L. All day. Every day.
My dear Aunt Sally, we is at the P right now. We gotta go to free agency, then we gotta go to draft, then we can talk about training camp.
And Stephen Jones, who's also a multi-millionaire, moves and feels like a what? Like a dude that is got $15 in his bank account.
We finna come marching to Dallas with our picket signs, ticket torches, everything we can find.
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today? And listen, it's Super Bowl Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys will not be attending, playing, or doing anything like that today. But who cares, man? Like, it's still a good day to talk Dallas Cowboys content. Still time to bring y'all that real, that unadulterated stuff, man. So we're going to get right into it, man. But salute to everybody out there in the building right now. I see folks coming into the liquor store ready to get drunk with me, man. I see my boy Jameson Taylor in the building. Was Gucci with you? JV B-Boy in the building, live and in attendance. Now, let me turn the music down just a little bit, though. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, my boy JV B-Boy in the building, man. Salute to you. Common Sense Lab in the building. Was good with you, man. Who else is in here with us, man? Dak owns Filthy. He still do. Despite them playing in the Super Bowl, Dak Prescott routinely kicks their ass. So you are right about that. My boy Joe Trent China from Italy, not China, said, what's up, HTM? Sharing your video, pushing like button. And since it's Super Bowl Sunday, slapping every Eagle fan on the planet. That's a real one right there. My boy King G in the building. What's up with you, my boy? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. And hey, y'all make sure on the way into the building, y'all hit those likes buttons, y'all hit those share buttons, y'all slap the shit at those Eagles fans, man. And please make sure to hit those cash apps, man. No super chats, no super stickers, no views. We are still beefing with YouTube. It's gonna be a minute before YouTube stop harassing us. So if you want to support your independent content creators in the meantime, hit that cash app. Mine is $Henny the Moore. And if you want to also bless my brother landlord who was not feeling well, actually, I ain't gonna tell too much of his business. He want to tell you what's going on, he'll tell you. But make sure y'all check in on landlord though, man. Justin Kitchen, what's good with you? You got us the poet, what's good with you? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the content. But yeah, make sure y'all hit those cash apps, man. Help your content creators out, man. Keep the lights on. Alright, but yeah, man. So a lot of stuff happened recently that make me just want to sit here and talk Dallas Cowboys content. Cause I was chilling, I didn't have to work that particular day. I think it was like a Thursday. So I was watching the NFL award show. I was watching NFL Honors. And I saw some of the particular people that won awards that night. And no hate to them, you know what I'm saying? Like, salute to Patrick Surtain Jr. for winning Defensive Player of the Year. Salute to Josh Allen for winning League MVP, whatever. I didn't believe it. Should have went to him, but, I'm not a hater like that. But when I sit back and I watched and I looked at the stats and I looked at what they actually accomplished and did, it makes me feel even more so that the year prior that the Dallas Cowboys had two players that were snubbed for awards. One being Deron Bland, who had a historic season at the cornerback position where he was able to do with return touchdowns. And then yours, one and truly, Dak Prescott, who led the National Football League in touchdown passes, was top 2 or 3 in completion percentage, passer rate, and every other metric that you care about for a quarterback. And it just makes me feel like, man, when it comes down to these media awards, it does not feel like a Dallas Cowboy is going to win one of any significance anytime soon. They might, try and save face and give out an all-pro selection, because we got plenty of guys to make all-pros. But when it comes to like the most prestigious awards that they have, I don't think there will be a Defensive Player of the Year for the Dallas Cowboys anytime soon, regardless of what Micah Parsons does, regardless of what Deron Bland does, regardless of what Trayvon Diggs does, if he comes back and able to play back to his level. I don't think we'll have a MVP from our team, regardless of how well Dak plays, CeeDee Lamb plays. If we draft Genty and he's really who we say he is, they're not going to give these guys MVPs. And this is why I feel about that, just in general. In a media-based award, and the media controls the awards and who get the awards, why would they give such prestigious awards to the Dallas Cowboys when really a majority of what they do is Dallas Cowboys slander? It's hard to really slander a team, once that you acknowledge that these players are of that level, of that ilk. It's hard to do a hour-long, because listen, they got hour-long shows about how Dak Prescott ain't shit. Right, you turn on the TV, can Dak Prescott get the Cowboys over the hump? Was Dak Prescott the most overpaid? Dak Prescott the most overrated? You cannot have these hour-long segments and shows about the validity of a player if you have already vindicated them with an award like that. Thank you. Top 3 in QBR. He was top in completion percentage. He led the league in touchdown passes. Right. Matter of fact, because listen, I'm gonna show the graphic. I'm just show you what I'm talking about. Because listen, I flat out believe that Lamar Jackson should have won this year. Right. This year, Lamar Jackson should have won the award. Right. Hold on. Because this is Lamar versus Josh Allen. Lamar had Josh Allen beat in completion percentage, passing yards, yards per attempt, yards per game, passing touchdowns. He threw less interceptions. He also had a better passer rating. He rushed for more yards. The only thing that Josh Allen really even had him beat in was rushing touchdowns, which is crazy, right? So everybody is saying this is a robbery. This is a snub. They did Lamar Jackson wrong, right? What's up with your Silver Slave? They were tapping in and showing love, man. Yeah, they're saying that Lamar Jackson was robbed with no mask at gunpoint, right? Said that he went out sad. Well, if that's a robbery, why is Dak Prescott not a robbery last year? This is Dak Prescott stats compared to MVP Josh Allen. This is what Josh Allen won an MVP with. Dak Prescott, better completion percentage, more yards, about the same yards per attempt, more yards per game, more passing touchdowns, right? Had a better passer rating. The only thing Josh Allen had over him was rushing stats, right? He had better rushing stats. So when you compare what was good enough for Josh Allen to win MVP, and then you compare what was Dak Prescott not even getting a first place vote, it's crazy to me when you think about it. And then let's do the easy thing. Let's compare Dak Prescott to Lamar Jackson, who did win the MVP last year when he probably shouldn't have. Dak had more passing touchdowns. He had a better completion percentage, better passer rating, right? More total touchdowns. Because even then, if you factor in the rushing touchdown that Lamar Jackson had, he did not have more total touchdowns than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott had 38 total touchdowns. Lamar Jackson had 29. Dak Prescott was phenomenal last year and did not get the credit that he deserves. So listen, a lot of people try to point to, well, Dak Prescott didn't play well against winning teams. That is also not completely true. Dak Prescott played a total of eight teams that ended the season with an over 500 record, right? Played a total of 8 teams. They did split down the middle 4-4, which is actually pretty common. But Dak Prescott was not bad in most of those football games. In totality, Dak Prescott had a 102 passer rating against winning teams, a 17 touchdown to 8 turnover ratio, which is better than 2-1, which is outstanding. He completed 66.4% of his passes against those teams and had a total of 2,402 yards. So even then, with that false narrative, Dak Prescott did not play well against winning teams. He didn't play bad either. He wasn't Thanos, but shit, he was one of the Avengers. Because for context, for people are not understanding, 100 passer rating is amazing. Anything over 100, you're balling. A 2-1 touchdown turnover ratio is astounding. A completion percentage of anything 66 and above is astounding. So Dak Prescott was really great in totality against winning teams. And even if you wanted to go that angle, that was not really the case this year, right? Because when it came to common opponents for Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, Lamar beat the common opponents. He beat the Houston Texans. You remember? Because that's the game where Josh Allen had like 9 completions. He went like 9 of 30 or some shit, right? And they lost and they lost that game. They dominated. The Ravens dominated that same team that they lost to. In the head-to-head matchup, they played head-to-head in the regular season, and Lamar Jackson dominated Josh Allen. So you mean to tell me that you want to use the narrative of common opponents and strength of schedule and all that other shit last year to take Dak Prescott's MVP, but that's not even a factor when you appoint and anoint Josh Allen with MVP, not even a full year. It ain't even been a full year. So that was crazy to me. And the same thing, really, because I don't want to just make this about Dak, because this really is about the totality of the Dallas Cowboys. How can Pat Surtain be the defensive player of the year, and you're up here listing his pass deflections, and you're listing your passes defended and all this other good stuff, when DeRon Bland literally had an NFL record-breaking amount of return touchdowns off pick sixes, when he led the NFL in interceptions? You mean to tell me what DeRon Bland did was less impactful and less deserving than what Pat Surtain did? And don't get me wrong, Pat Surtain deserved it this year. This particular year, he deserved it. But what I'm telling you, is this, is that you cannot change the parameters of what you're looking for at a moment notice. Year in and year out, you can't continue to change it. But this is the thing, Joe. People will say, hey, yeah, I know, I am being beat. Listen, me and YouTube are beefing right now. We've had it out. I don't have super chats right now. I don't have super stickers, but I do got Cash App. Like I do got Cash App until we get that fixed with YouTube, whenever that may be. So if you want to support the content, the Cash App is $ Henny the Moore is up here at the bottom of the screen. But this is the thing, though, man. You can't say having Derrick Henry helps him so much. James Cook led the National Football League in rushing touchdowns. Like, y'all know it wasn't Derrick Henry. It was actually James Cook, who plays for the Buffalo Bills, who has been one of the best running backs in the National Football League for the last 2 years. So we're not going to sit here and act like both have not benefited from running games. Also, when you talk about skill position players, right? You talk about the skill position players, man. Who would you rather have right now? Would you rather have the Buffalo Bills pass catchers, or would you rather have the Ravens? I would lean toward the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills got 2 dominant tight ends. Buffalo Bills had Amari Cooper. Buffalo Bills put a first-round pick on Keon Coleman, which paid dividends down the line. Buffalo Bills got wide receivers. All right, so he told y'all, so I wasn't going to say nothing. But yeah, landlord is in the hospital right now. Salute to my boy. Said my dog Hen. Salute liquor store live from the hospital. But we going to push through, Cowboy Nation. Yeah, my brother is hospitalized right now. He said he doing better, but still show him some support. Hit that man Cash App. It's $ landlord 723. Send him some good, some get well wishes, man. Send my boy some get well wishes, man. And hey, you know, thoughts and prayers are always with you, my guy. Thoughts and prayers are always with you. Right. Flowers got hurt. So in totality, especially for the course of the season, Josh Allen had a good run game. He had a good supporting cast of weapons. And did you know the difference in between their defenses is like 0.4 points per game? Both were giving up like 21 points per game. I think the Ravens were giving up like 21.3, and they were giving up like 24.6 or some shit like that. So really, the defense was damn near equal. They both had running games, and the Bills had better pass catchers. So I'm not really even seeing that argument. In totality, the Bills had a very good team too. They had a very good defense. They got a very competent offensive line. They got skill position players. They got a running game. Why this woe is me? I don't have anything shit coming from when they talk about Josh Allen. So no, I don't believe he deserved it. Matter of fact, this is the first time since 1987 where the second team All-Pro quarterback won the award over the quarterback that was first team All-Pro. Right? It happened with John Elway and Montana. Last time that happened. The only other time that the first team All-Pro quarterback didn't win MVP was the years that they gave it to a different position. Like, yes, the first team All-Pro quarterback didn't win, but we gave it to the first team All-Pro running back. That shit makes sense, right? That makes perfect sense. Like, yes, you were the best quarterback, but this guy over here who was a running back, he was the best player in the league. I can understand that. That makes sense. But to give it to the quarterback that was not considered the best quarterback in the league, same voters, by the way, the same people that vote for these All-Pro teams are the same people. You vote this man as the second best quarterback, but now he's the best player in the league? He's the best player in the league. Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. And because I'm getting a little off subject, because I was tying this back into how they view the Cowboys and how they don't ever vote for us. Make the Offensive Player of the Year award make sense. How is Saquon Barkley, right? Because I want you to use your mind. How is Saquon Barkley the best offensive player in the National Football League, but MVP goes to another offensive player? How does that make sense? Either Saquon Barkley is the Offensive Player of the Year and the MVP, or the award doesn't make sense. And you don't have to split it up, remember. Because in recent history, Matt Ryan won both awards. Matt Ryan was the Offensive Player of the Year and the league MVP. so you don't have to split the award up. So I don't know how they do it now. It's stupid. It's dumb. Make absolutely no sense. But I don't want to spend too much time on that, man. But in my humble opinion, as long as the media controls these awards and the media has an agenda on who they want to prop up, who they want to down, who they want to slander for ratings, these awards will not be really valid. You know, they lose a little bit of their integrity each and every year. Because they lost some credibility last year with Lamar Jackson over Dak Prescott from a statistical standpoint. But they had a good narrative, like, well, he did this against these teams, right? All right, cool. But then you contradict yourself the very next year and say, well, you know, I know that he wasn't good against the common opponents, and I know he lost head-to-head against this guy and this and that, but we feel like he was more valuable. That don't make sense. You change the criteria every single year when you get out here. It was this standard last year for, yes, this person has superior stats, this person did this and that, but, you know, what they did against these teams was why we picked the other guy. And now going back this year, it's like, well, none of that shit matters. We're just going to give it to Josh Allen. Fuck it. All right. Dunny Holmes, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Jack and Smith, salute to you. And listen, I want y'all to remember, they made it public who voted for who. They made it public. So let me read you off a list of the people that voted, you know, for Josh Allen to be the league MVP. All right, so I'm just going to start with the names you know. Dan Orlovsky, who has a bias against Dak Prescott, which is documented, and a deep-founded love for Josh Allen. He even goes onto the Bills, you know, in the crazy. He goes onto the Bills radio shows and talks about Josh Allen. He has a clear bias towards Josh Allen, and he had a vote. Emmanuel Acho, Dallas Cowboy hater, who makes a large part of his living off of discrediting Dallas Cowboys players like Dak Prescott, had a vote and voted for Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. Chris Sims, I like Chris, but he made an awful choice. I'm not going to put everybody out there, but point being, like, you know these people. You know them. You know some of the narratives that they try to push on their platforms. They have narratives and agendas that are clearly biased, but they have the votes, right? They have these votes. But yeah, man, I also want to really spend a little bit of time sitting in here talking about the Micah Parsons stuff. It started. The smear campaign has started. The propaganda has started. The hate from the front office has started. The vitriol will begin before you know it. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put the list on Twitter. I already got it on Twitter. Matter of fact. So go to my Twitter page and follow it. Or if you don't got me on Twitter, I'll add it to my my Facebook page so y'all can see it. I don't have a way to add it to the show right now. Yeah, my boy Gucci, man. He gonna be out here on the front lines with us, holding it down, handling business. Cause he a real one, man. So y'all make sure y'all support my boy, man. Show him some love. But Keystone, the votes are in before that. What people don't understand is that the ballots for MVP, All-Pro, and everything else have to be turned in before the start of Week 17. You got 16 weeks. You have to turn it in before the start of Week 17. They cast those ballots before that shit was seen. All those votes and everything else have to be in before the start of Week 17. So they didn't see the matchup. They didn't see anything from the playoffs when they made these votes. So I can't give them that. because that's the rule. You have to have the ballot in. They collect all that stuff before then. And if you don't turn it in on time, you don't get to vote. So that's why I don't understand about this. Exactly. Lamar was robbed. Lamar was flat out robbed. So everyone double tap the screen to like the video. Yes, please do. Double tap that screen. Share the content. Hit the cash apps too, man. Cause listen, I know y'all got y'all parlays in for the Super Bowl and shit. I understand, but you got a couple dollars for the holler. Let your boy hold something until the first of the month. I'm kidding. He said double tap the screen for the team. I mean, really is a popularity contest. Voter fatigue for Lamar Jackson, maybe. But you wouldn't have voter fatigue if you actually had gave Dak Prescott his MVP. If you had gave Dak his MVP when he deserved it, you could have slept soundly and just gave Lamar Jackson the MVP that he actually earned. Because Lamar actually earned his MVP. He earned his MVP. Exactly, Keystone. Media-driven awards can create narratives that the media can push. So, like, look, see, he's such a great player. He won MVP. You gave him MVP, motherfucker. You gave him MVP. You decided who MVP was. Like, Dak isn't that great. He never won an MVP because you didn't vote for him, dog. He had the stats. He had the accomplishments. He had the win record. He had everything you wanted. Everything from MVP pass, he had that, and you didn't give it to him. So when the media try and push these narratives about these media voted awards being the end all be all, just call bullshit on it. Like, Josh Allen is so great, he won MVP. Yes, you voted him to be MVP. You had a vote. You voted for Josh Allen. Of course, the guy that you wanted to win MVP, you're gonna prop up. Of course, the guy that you don't like and like to drag for ratings, of course you aren't voting him for MVP. Of course not. So I don't want to really hear that shit, honestly. Of course, DaRon Bland didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. He a Cowboy. We can't let that happen. Come on now. But yeah, man, back to what we're finna talk about with Micah, because they started their bullshit already. Every time somebody comes up for a contract, when it's about time for that, trades and all the other stuff, don't open that door. Hold on, Jay. It said now no running back will go the extra mile for a record knowing quarterbacks get the award no matter what. Man, it's crazy when you put it into perspective, man. Because really at this point it's a damn quarterback award. But my bad about being about that, man. I'll talk to my grandson. I'll talk about my grandson. Okay. But here it goes. This is what we're going to talk about with the Micah Parsons stuff. So the Cowboys possibly trading Micah Parsons. This is from Kevin Gray. He said, while there have been no trade talk, sources say there have at least been some internal discussions about whether to pay Parsons or trade him for a king's ransom. If the Cowboys are willing to listen, they may get it. Right? And then Cowboys due diligence, who I like. He said, I'm okay with discussing all possibilities for all players. I think it's wise to listen to any offer because you never know who will absolutely blow you away. However, this is likely exactly what is going on. And with a guy who has already offered to come to the table early and take less money, no less. Exactly. Because he was responding to Kevin Olmstead. Let the annual dragging of a player up for a contract begin. Because I want y'all to remember something. They have not talked to another team about trading Micah Parsons. All of these discussions that they're having were in-house. They're in-house discussions. So who would leak in-house discussions about the Dallas Cowboys? The Dallas Cowboys. They leaked that shit themselves as an early negotiation tactic. They leaked that shit. So say, hey, Michael, we love you, but if the number ain't right, we might move you. We might move you. No, I wouldn't trade Micah to get a king's ransom because they've been horrible drafting these last couple of years. Why would I trade Micah Parsons for a bunch of picks and all the picks they done gave me so far that fucking sucked? You got one quality player out of the last two drafts, and I'm not counting Morbian Overshown because he's been hurt. He's been hurt and he's barely played. He's barely going to play this upcoming year. So I'm new to the channel. Just hear your last talk from 2010 to now. Name the person who should be MVP, if not the current winner of that year. I could do that. It's gonna take some. It's gonna need some research for that. I don't like just looking at the overall numbers, but that will take some time. But I have no issue doing that. I can make that into a video. And so this is the thing. Like, you haven't drafted well enough for me to want you to give up one of the best players in the National Football League for picks. It just doesn't make sense to me. You haven't drafted well enough these last 2 years. Monty Smith still hasn't developed. Junior Fehoko got cut. Luke Schoonmaker, you ain't really got a big return on investment from him. Who else did we get? Marshawn Nealon has barely played. You know, he got drafted last year. Tyler Guyton got benched. DeMarvin Overshown has been hurt. Cooper Beebe is really like the only guy the last 2 years that you drafted that you've seen any real return on investment from. I'm not turning back for Jalen Brooks or anybody else, right? So I'm not giving up Micah Parsons for picks. They have not shown me these last 2 years that those picks will have any value for me. They have not drafted well these last 2 years. You talk about Deuce Vaughn. Like, Deuce Vaughn has done nothing for you. So I'm confused on why people are so ready to give up Micah Parsons for picks when you ain't drafted well enough. If we were still doing home run draft picks, if we were still getting C.D. Lambs and Trayvon Diggs and Osa Dikizuas and getting Micah Parsons and all this other stuff in the draft, I could understand that. So we like when we were drafting our ass off, sure. You've done nothing these last couple of drafts to make you even. You should listen. You should not be excited for the draft. They've been so lackluster the last 2 years. Denzel Jackson, like who the hell are we drafting? Would be such a Jones thing to do. Get rid of your best player for a king's ransom, which will only be a 3rd round pick and a Dollar General type player. Exactly. They never win the trade negotiations. They have not drafted well. I don't trust them. The same team that could only get a 5th round pick for Amari Cooper when he just went for a 3rd this year. Trayvon Diggs, when healthy, is a great player. Now, these last couple of years, he's been hurt, and availability is the best ability. But Trayvon Diggs is an all-pro player when he's healthy. He just ain't been healthy these last couple of years. So, you know, I understand what you're getting at, but when he's healthy, he's good. Will he ever be completely healthy again? That's yet to be seen, but I understand what you're saying. But I still like Trey. I still like Trey a lot. Who do we get out of the draft at running back, seeing we let Zeke go? There's a lot of good running backs in the draft. If Genty is there, that probably would be the pick because it fulfills two narratives. You can sell a lot of jerseys and you get a very good player. You get a very good player. You get to sell jerseys, and it automatically should help and be impactful day one. Last time they used the first round pick on a running back was Zeke, and that boy got over 300 carries. So if they're going into here and they're having this new philosophy of running the football, and you believe them to want to run the football, and they're going to give him the carries, he's the easy pick. But let's say they go a different direction in the first round. Let's say something crazy happens and Abdul Carter falls to the Dallas Cowboys, or Tech McMillan falls to the Dallas Cowboys. Right? You draft them. Then in the next round, you might be able to get Caleb Johnson at that point. You might be able to get Travion Henderson from Ohio State. In later rounds, David Neal, right, from Kansas. Then you have there's a lot of great running backs. There's a lot of great running backs in this draft. Like, I could go on and on and on. Matter of fact, when Landlord is back healthy, we're gonna have some fire ass Cowboy colleges, man. We're gonna have some fire ass Cowboy college sessions this year, because this is a super deep running back class. We really could spend like a 2 or 3 parter on running backs and how deep it is. Yeah, Lil Legs, he got to go. I'm sorry, he got to go. Judkins from Ohio State, yep, he's a good prospect. Taj Brooks from Texas Tech is a good prospect that a lot of people aren't talking about. Rocket Sanders played at Arkansas, also played at South Carolina this year. Good prospect to look into. Scotterbo from Arizona State, good late round prospect. Who else? Blue from Texas. It's a lot. There's a lot of people, bro. This is a deep running back class. Now there are 3 distinct guys I think will be day one starter, all pro material guys. That's Genty, there's Omarvian Hampton, and that's Caleb Johnson. But there are still other good guys that you can get in the draft that could be a Pro Bowl caliber running back. But those 3 got all pro potential. Of all the 3 backs, those 3 are the one with all pro potential. Now, could some of the other guys eventually be there in the right system and scheme? Sure. But I think those guys would be successful regardless. So let's see. But yeah, I don't trust them, dog. When you really just get down to the meat and potatoes of it, like it's not a good idea. And listen, I do believe Micah Parsons will be here. But they do this every time. When Dak Prescott came up for a contract, it was slander. CeeDee Lamb came up for a contract, it was slander. The Marcus Lawrence had to hold out, threatened to have his surgery late. Zach Martin, who was a pillar on this football team, had to hold out not once but twice to get his money. They always play these reindeer games with the Dallas Cowboy players, man. Like the front office be on bullshit. It's awful, dog. He said, do you believe Zach Martin retires? I believe so. He should. He should retire. Unless he's completely 100% healthy, he should retire. But he was not a good football player last year. I hope he's able to spend some time, with his people. Rest, enjoy his family and retired life. But dog, if Zach Martin is gonna look like he did last year, he can stay where he's at, bro. I got nothing but love and respect for the man and what he's done for this organization over the years. But when it's time, man. When it's time, it's time. Like, he was not the best guard on your team. He wasn't even Like, you played better without Zach Martin last year. You played better as a football team without Zach Martin out there last year. Like, no disrespect to the future Hall of Famer, but it's over with. Now, if he really was just hurt, and he truly believed that he has one more decent season in him, he might need to play it somewhere else still. But I don't know. I'm leaning towards not wanting Zach Martin back. Yeah, I'm leaning towards not wanting Zach Martin back at this point in time, bro. Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, it's a great Super Bowl Sunday, man. It's gonna be even better when the Eagles lose by 20 points. Cause listen, I don't even want the game to be close. I pray that the Kansas City Chiefs beat them boys by like 3 scores. I hope it's a laugher. Right? That's the kind of disdain that I have for the Philadelphia Eagles. Who y'all going for in the Super Bowl? Boston Campfires or the Ocean View Estates? Go Tiger Mantis. You know I'm going for Kansas City. It makes perfect sense for the Dallas Cowboys to root for Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is from Texas. Grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. You know, I don't mind that. I don't mind him having success, except when he plays us. You know what I mean? Well, you're gonna be stuck with Dak for a while, my guy. He just signed that contract. Matter of fact, the contract don't even kick in till this year, and you're probably gonna restructure his deal this offseason to clear up cap space. So Dak Prescott will be here. Only thing, if you don't believe that Dak Prescott is him, the only thing that you can do is build a better team around Dak Prescott. That's it. And if you love Dak Prescott like I do, then like shit, I'm not mad at it. So it is what it is. You can not like him, you can love him, you can hate him, you can be indifferent. He's going to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback for the next 4 years. There's no way around it. No trade clause. You know, huge dead money cap hit if you cut him. Still all the same criteria as before this. So he's going to be your quarterback. Give the man a run game. Give the man a better wide receiver to throw to than Jalen fucking Brooks. And we'll talk about that afterwards. You know what I mean? I wouldn't let Deebo Samuel on my practice squad. And this is the thing for me personally. If I'm going to trade for a player, I want to trade for a player that is better than what I have. Deebo Samuel has not been a good football player for the last year and a half. He has not. Deebo Samuel went from being an all-pro wide receiver to a gadget guy. If you're going to pay money for a gadget guy, you might as well keep Devontae Turpin. What's up with your stack? I see you, cuz. I see you in the building, cuz. Yeah, the man ain't good. The man ain't good right now. So, I'm not trading assets away for a declining player. Right? Same reason I don't really want the Dallas Cowboys to trade for Cooper Kupp. You know, like he's a great route runner. He a great slot. He's been a great player, but he's not the same player that he used to be. This is my thing. If you're gonna bring in a declining player, there are declining players in free agency you can bring in. You might be able to bring in 2. Right? Stephon Diggs and Amari Cooper are free agents. If I want to bring in a declining wide receiver, I can bring in 1 of them or 2 of them and pair them with a draft pick. But I don't have to give away my draft picks to get them. So I wouldn't trade anything for Cooper Kupp. I wouldn't trade anything for Deebo Samuel because if I wanted a declining wide receiver, I could just sign somebody. I could sign Amari Cooper. I could bring Brandon Cook's ass back. He's sure been declining. I could bring in Stephon Diggs, like I said. I could bring in any of them guys if I wanted to bring in a declining football player. And I can keep my assets. I ain't got to give up a pick to bring in somebody that's on the downward trend. I don't have to do that. If I want to bring in a declining player, I can do it for free in free agency and keep my draft picks. and use those draft picks to get guys that are on the up and up. I don't have to trade away my future for guys who are going to be out the league in like a year and a half. I don't have to do that. It's not good team building. Also, Zach Martin is a free agent. It's too late to trade him. If you wanted to trade Zach Martin, you should have traded him last year. I do not think the Cowboys will even attempt to call about Myles Garrett, and that's going to be a mistake because Myles Garrett sounds like he wants to play in the NFC East. So if the Dallas Cowboys don't sign Myles Garrett, they could end up playing him 2 times a year because he's talking about wanting to go to the Eagles. He's talking about wanting to go to the Commanders. He also said he wouldn't mind playing for us. But the issue is the Dallas Cowboys will be stupid enough to let Myles Garrett end up in with one of the divisional rivals. Just like we were stupid enough to let Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles. Right? Just like we were stupid enough to let Derrick Henry end up going to the Ravens, even though we knew we played them niggas this year. Oh no, this is it. Zach Martin is a free agent. That was his last season. It's a wrap. He is a pending free agent. He can sign wherever he want to sign at, dog. Wherever he want to sign at, he can sign, dog. Boy, the best pass rush of the century. But landlord, instead of the Dallas Cowboys having internal discussions of trading for Myles Garrett, they're having internal discussions about trading away Micah Parsons. That's how stupid we are as a front office. That's how stupid we are as a front office. Instead of talking about trading for Myles Garrett, we're talking about trading away Micah Parsons internally. Hate these motherfuckers. Got me cussing on a Sunday. Lord forgive me. All right, y'all. I done spent too much time on here letting the Dallas Cowboys run up my blood pressure with the stupid stuff that they do. Y'all hit the like button on the way out. Hit the share button on the way out. Hit the Cash App on the way out, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, it's been a great show. I know it wasn't a long show, but I do have to get ready to go to work. I will be spending Super Bowl Sunday on the clock trying to make it work. So I appreciate y'all in advance. I'll see y'all next time. God bless. We're still America's team. And in the words of West Coast Cowboy, man, never look down because the star is up. Peace.
Thinking about changing locations and shit. Man, into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think